All right, man. I'm done playing small. If something doesn't align with my values, my ethics, my morals, then it doesn't deserve my time. And yeah, that's gonna be the main highlight. No, not really main. Yeah, I guess yeah, main highlight of this entry. So let's see what's up. What did we do this week? So yeah, like I said from last week, I had a design task from this certain company, and yeah, I said it was very exploitive. So what I decided to do was decline the offer, but then also not fully shut down the door or close the door. I then sort of fed in my creative studio Galinachi verse, and then said, maybe perhaps if your company is building their freelance network, then here's my portfolio, blah blah blah, my services. We can talk sometime in the future. And that's what I did. And yeah, man. And of course, when one door closes, another door opens, and I'll talk more about that later on. And yeah, man, this week as well, my time at Robert Jesse, like shadowing Robert Jesse, has ended because I think now I just need to have a lot on my plate as well and won't have enough free time, to help out. But then I think 6 months, it's about half a year. I think that's enough time for me to apply my skill set and start doing the things that I'm doing there onto my own practice and not procrastinate any longer. But yeah, that's the vision, that's the goal. So yeah, this week I just wanted to focus on like the power of saying no. And I think especially if you're a beginner, let's say you've just graduated, now you're, I don't know, actually you can be anywhere at any point in your life. If you're a creative and you're thinking of building your own thing, freelancing, doing client work, whatever, what you need to know is, right, at some point you're gonna come to a stage where not every opportunity requires a yes, because not every opportunity works in your favor. Like you can get an opportunity for X, Y, and Z. Like it may be monetary, but in terms of, value or I don't know, credentials or direction, it doesn't align with you. It's only there for, let's say, monetary value. But not everything should be about monetary, especially when you're being more, how could you word this? Being more intentional with your direction, especially when you're sort of niching. It's not even, I don't like saying niching down, man. You have a certain vision and you want to work in a certain industry, right? So let's say for me, I want to be in the boxing and the fashion space. So why would I be doing, let's say, doing a logo for a, I don't know, restaurant? Like, it doesn't, how does that help me move one step forward with the boxing and then, or the fashion? It just doesn't align. Of course, it aligns with the Galanachi verse, at least for me. But I think now I have a very broad approach to this, to my career. I think I'm at that point where I just need to narrow down and really, what is it that I enjoy? and what are the industries I really want to be involved in. For me, it's more on the boxing aspect, because that's something I, check daily. I look at the updates, what's going here and there, what's the upcoming fights. I'm really passionate about it, and I really follow it, and I dig deep in the history as well. But let's say like fashion, it is a medium that I'm working on, but it isn't necessarily something I'm as passionate about as I am with boxing. Like I don't care to follow the, the, what do you call it, fashion week. Like, to me, that this I don't care about that. And to me, I don't care about no trends. Like, I remember when job hunting and applying to fashion industry roles, they would ask me, "Oh, do you follow fashion trends?" Blah blah blah. I'm like, no, and that was one of the reasons why I didn't get the role, because I wasn't following trends, And I'm not the type to follow trends, anyways, man. I'm a trendsetter. That's how I am. I don't care about what's going on. I care about what I like, and I'll move in the way I want to move, and not be pressured with what's going around, you know? Like, for me, the whole individuality and expressing myself in the way that I want, not pressured by the outside world. I think those are the things that are very important to me. That's why there was a lot of misalignment when it comes to applying with fashion roles, because I don't really care about fashion in a sense of like trends and, who's who, like, oh, who's the new creative director for this and that. Like, I don't care. Like, for me, what I care about is boxing, and fashion is just a medium the art medium that I'm translating my vision on. So for me, it's just a canvas, nothing more, nothing less. But yeah, that being said, when one door closes, another door opens, and I did decline the role in that company with the, very exploitative design task during the interview process. I could have easily done it, like I said last week, but it didn't align with my creative values, so that was a no from me. But now, obviously, a new opportunity arose. I don't know if that's even the right word, but it was a basically 3 months ago. I was sending out my pitch deck for Pioneers of Greatness, and I happened to send one to a boxing magazine in the UK namely Boxing News Online. And one of the guys there, shout out to Benjamin, he connected me with a sister brand or a sister company under the umbrella of Boxing News, and they were they are building a startup, luxury streetwear startup that is rooted in boxing. So very similar to what I'm doing with Pioneers of Greatness, but there are differences, because for me, I'm not streetwear focused. I'm more on turning Pioneers of Greatness into the next, Ralph Lauren, the next sort of Lacoste that fuses sports and fashion. And for me, fashion isn't like just tees, hoodies, and whatnot. I'm more open to silhouettes that aren't the norm and cool. They might not, it might not be good for business, but I don't care about that. I care about putting out things that are not what you see out there already, you know. That's why it's pioneers of greatness, man. It's not let's be regular, you know, let's blend in. Let's be average. Pioneers of being average, you know. So yeah, no, basically they have a sister brand, Boxing News Online, and it's called 1909. They reached out to me and they actually wanted me to jump on board and help them, you know, run the brand and whatnot. And there was a lot of alignment there, but we're just ironing the details and sort of like the compensation as well with that. So nothing is signed and dotted at the moment, but like I said, when one door closes, another door opens, and that was literally within a span of a day. Like I declined one company, and then I think the next day I had an email from 1909, the people from 1909, asking to meet up, and then met up with them during last weekend. Was it? Sorry, no, it was on Monday. This week, Monday, chopped it up. Just heard their side, what they wanted to do, what they could see, and how I could, you know, possibly help out. But yeah, man, like I said, this one is it aligns with me a lot more. You know, the benefits I would get engaging with this would help me build a network within the boxing industry, build relationships, and be in the events, you know, the boxing events and whatnot, and just be more out there within the boxing community. Because right now, I'm more, I like to be, you know, here in my studio at home, you know, doing the art shit, just, you know, just doing creative shit. But then obviously part of the role is building relationship, building community, being within the boxing community. And I do not frequently, I do on occasions, you know, go to boxing events here and there, but I would like to be more involved more frequently. And through 1909, I'll be able to do this, which is a big up. And that will translate well in the future once I launch POG. But like I said, or actually, like I mentioned during the meeting with 1909, I was saying I was not I'm not in a rush with launching Pioneers of Greatness, because for me I want to be product focused, because now I've built the story for it. I've built the narrative, and I also have the designs like all ready right there, you know, like I've the foundation is there. And what I want to focus on now is developing the products. That's creating prototypes, sampling, and just turning these design ideas into, you know, tangible products, MVPs that I could, you know, test out and whatnot. And that's why the whole Robert Jesse thing came through as well, that I had to end that because I need to start focusing on building my own. And obviously with this, I couldn't really say no with 1909's opportunity, even though we're still, you know, ironing out the details. It aligns with what I want to do with POG so much, to the point where, yeah, I'm happy to, you know, compromise in some areas, you know, especially like the pay. The pay isn't a crazy amount, you know, but I'm still going to be working a part-time job, the bar job. So I'll be balancing the two, and I'm going to start also pushing out my works out there and attracting clients to do, you know, freelance. But obviously it has to be, I'm going to be super picky with it, you know. I just want things that align with the direction I'm going. And if it doesn't align, I'm sorry, go find someone else. But yeah, now I'm at that time where I just need to be intentional with every single thing that I do. And if it doesn't align with the frequency I'm moving in, then just no, man, I got time. I don't want to spend my energy on it. And yeah, I already have limited time. But yeah, that's pretty much sort of what's going on this week. And yeah, also within the next 6 months, I plan to, build up a tech portfolio because I do still want to transition into tech. Even though I've been hearing that the tech market right now isn't the best, but I don't really give a shit about that. I'm gonna try anyways because I already have. I've built, some projects, tech projects. Last year, I coded, a handful of websites or certain features. So there's already examples that I could use to build my portfolio. But now I think it's more on like just being intentional, building projects that align with the industry I want to, penetrate. Because for me, at the end of the day, I'd still like to, the type of 9 to 5 I'd like to be in is something that's laid back. I'm not leading anyone. I'm working under someone and the hours are consistent. I know I know that I'm gonna be here at this time and then I'll be clocking out at this time. And then I would be able to build a routine so I can focus on building my business, focusing on getting more active and improving my health, and then all those other things that I have on my plate, sorting them out. But yeah, but for the next 6 months, I'll entertain the 1909. I mean, I told them this anyway, that in the next 6 months, I plan to, transition into tech. But within that time frame, I'm pretty much flexible. So I'm happy to, see what I can do within that time frame. But yeah, I'm just doing whatever. Not even whatever. I'm just doing what I need to do at this point. Anything for my vision, To be fair, when things align or when things are signed and dotted with 1909, then that would be sort of like the third startup that I'll be working at, Like first one was Yaboa, and then technically second one is with Robert Jesse, the studio. But that was just like a once a week shadowing, you know. But this one I'll be for with 1909, it's more hands-on, but it's also just part-time, so I think it will be around like two days a week, whatnot. But yeah, it'll be good to see how these startups function, how they handle their business. Because I've seen two startups, and I've seen how, like, their processes work. And then I can gain those take those experience and then apply it to my own business. I think that's how it works anyways, man. You work at one place, you take what you learn, apply it to your own practice. Like even back in architecture, when I was in the industry for a year, all the way the folders are sorted, the way the projects are managed and whatnot, I took those aspects and blah and whatnot, and applied it to my own practice, you know. So it's actually, it works in my favor that I've worked with many, you know, industries or many companies within, you know, the last 5 years, because then I actually get a broad scope of how things are, you know, whether it be from corporation to a more lean startup structure. So yeah, I would say actually I've been fortunate enough to experience a lot of things in different scales and see how things work, and then all of that will just apply into my own practice, you know. Yeah. But yeah, man, just like a closing note, what I feel right now is a lot of, let's say, the job, when I'm job hunting, you know, a lot of the people, the hiring managers, the recruiters, they pass up on me because they don't get the vision, you know. They don't understand what I'm building, they don't understand what I am. They don't understand the hunger, you know. I know what I am. I see the vision. I see the vision, and it's only a matter of time before everything becomes a reality, and it is what it is, man. Like, that's that. But yeah, man, I think that should wrap up this week. But yeah, man, that's it from me. Peace.